Alright, welcome back to the channel. A little change of gears today. We're going to start by opening the pool. It's late in April. Remember this time of year, it's been open for a little while, but with this year it's been kind of a cold spring. I'll talk a little bit here and there, but mostly it's going to be a time-lapse video of how we turn this ugly mess into a good-looking pool in a couple of days or so. So anyway, hope you enjoy. This is the easy part. Real quick, I'm going to bring a new tool to the battle this year. Normally, here's the anchor points for the Loop Logic cover. So you'll take this tool, turn around, and it pops off that cover. Now, you have this Allen, or this screw head that's got to be screwed down. So normally, I take this long Allen key pull that comes with the kit, turn that in while holding this pipe with a pair of channel locks. This year, I'm going to forego this long handle and see if I can use my drill with an extension. So anyway, we'll see how that goes. You won't see it from close up, you'll see it from a distance. Well, this is about typical for my pool, looks like. Coming out of the winter time. A lot of runoff comes in the pool over the winter, that's why it gets so brown. Hot tub looks much cleaner because there's no really runoff, it's just rainwater. Still a little mucky in there, but that'll clean up easy. Definitely have a leak somewhere, probably at the skimmers, because the water should be full. Still plenty full to get it running, but again, it should be full because I haven't pumped anything down in a while. So we'll seal that up. Usually every year I got to put some of that 2-part pool epoxy around the plastic where the plastic meets the gunite. I'll do that again this year. But even with all the special slime and the winter ball there, it still gets like this every single year. I just removed the plugs from the returns. It's bubbling there, that means it's good. That means it was airlocked all winter. Obviously have 6 more returns in the hot tub I'll get to in a little bit. Nozzles that go in all these holes. I like to drain the hot tub down first to put those in, so it doesn't need those in there to run. It just kind of forces the water into more confined space, and you can kind of angle the little heads of them to kind of give you a better movement of water. So for now, should be all right. I think we're about ready to prime the pump. Let's see what happens. These are the parts that I'm talking about for the hot tub. They go in those holes, and you can adjust this little eyepiece here to give the jet a different direction. Skimmers, I use one of these green gizmos, I think they call that, as well as a plug down the bottom, just for double redundancy. There's 2 screws down there, 2 threads down there, one's open, one's not, so I use this gizmo and the one that's closed, and I put an extra rubber plug in the other one, so the gizmo doesn't leak. About the coldest part of the day. Water's probably 50 degrees. Reaching down here into the bottom to pull this plug out. Okay, and of course this dirty water is down into the pipe. Screw goes open. And this water and all those pipes is why I always open the pump or the multi-port valve to waste first. I don't want to suck any of this junk from the skimmers into the filter and start plugging it up already. So I'll do the same thing. This skimmer right here. Move the gizmo. A lot of dead worms in this one. Oh. Okay, it's always good when you pull the plug out and you feel the suction. That means you did good when you put it to bed last fall. We're gonna go in the mechanical room right now and just kind of get that area set as far as plugs and everything in there. Alright, so quick tour. Obviously, I think it's 2 horsepower pump there, multi-port valve, DE filter. The filters right now are in a muriatic acid bath to clean those things out, get rid of the calcium. Goes into the heater, or you can bypass the heater, which I do at the beginning of the year. Some sort of filter, grit, the gray housing, I don't use that filter at all. Doesn't seem to do anything. And then my inline chlorinator, one of the valves that goes to the hot tub. So the spa fill is over here. This is a check valve right here. Since the spa is higher than this equipment, that check valve is there to keep the spa from flowing back into the pool. Here's my skimmers right here, bottom drain, and then spa drains over here. So this one shuts off the spa, or shuts off the pool when you went in spa mode. Right now it's in pool mode. So anyway, we'll get all the plugs out and put them in their appropriate spots, and then we'll see if we can get this baby cranked up. So the other plug for the other side of the heater, as well as plug for the booster pump. That runs the Polaris pressure side or booster pump, whatever. You don't see much in here. There we go, nice like a maybe that's somewhere here, so I'm sure I'll find some plug somewhere. Booster pump, this plug here. Booster pump a while ago. Polaris one's super expensive, so I bought this universal booster pump waterway, I don't know, 5 years ago, and it's working fine, so. Not a bad little unit, just showing you a little more. Universal booster pump by waterway. valve is currently in the winterized position. Again, we're going to go to waste first, so we'll just, before we forget, put that right over to waste. And we haven't even filled this thing up yet, but we can run it to waste without having a filter in there, and at least get the system primed. Yeah. Okay, so what I did is grab a 5-gallon bucket, grab some pool water in it. And again, I have this in waste mode. This guy's open to send to waste. We're just going to take some of that pool water, fill up this basket here, and we're good to go. I usually choose just one skimmer, and I'll try and open up one valve at a time once we get this thing running. Right now the water's flowing back into that one skimmer pipe. Let's see if we get lucky. Put it on. Enough. We'll get a little more water in there, and definitely needs can't see from there, but it's starting to prime up. It's sucking a little bit of air still. I haven't opened the main drain yet. We got multi-port set to recirculate, so bypass my filter right now. Right there, we caught another air pocket of something. And this is how my pool opens up every year. Just little things here and there. Once you get the air out of all the lines, it runs good. I blow the air out of the lines so well. I do my best to make sure this thing is not going to crack over the winter time. Let's go take a tour out here and see what's going on with the pool. Starting to get the skimmers primed out. So I got 2 main pool returns are pushing water. Still see some bubbles coming out. Hot tub, those 6 returns are pushing water. Still some bubbles coming out again. Still getting air to the system. You see right there, there's some bubbles pushing air out. Alright, since I opened my pool so early, I use these skimmer socks, I think they call them. It's just essentially a piece of pantyhose. They're pretty cheap to just buy actual ones online. I bought a set 5 years ago and still have some new ones. You can use them over and over. Kind of captures some more of the pollen. It keeps it out of your filter so you don't have to backwash quite as much. So I put that in the skimmer basket. One thing I will say is with these little nets, they tend to float up some more. So I put a rock in this one. I'm missing the weighted handle that goes across here. So the other one's got the weighted handle and that one holds down fine, but I just put a stone in the one without the weighted handle. Just FYI. Okay. I have the DE filters clean, put back together. Take this lid off, put it out of the way. Be careful with these lids, are very expensive. So again, don't break that. From a distance, we'll take this O-ring here. She'll clean out this groove a little bit. DE gets in here a little bit, so it's good to clean this off. To help seal it a little better. Okay, O-ring. Bit of a pain to get it to seat. It's an expensive O-ring, so hopefully yours is in good shape still. Put my elbows down the back side and then just roll it on with that. Okay, here's the DE filter grid. You notice the short one goes here. This is where the pipe will fit over the pipe that's sitting up there. So be careful when installing this. You don't want to break anything. Hopefully I won't. Line up that lid there. Okay. Seems fully seated. Take the filter grid cover. Install it. Check orientation. So I like this to be facing out. I'm gonna have to purge it so the water shoots out of the enclosed pool house. Here's your clamp. Okay, again, we're not filtering anything yet. We haven't put any chemicals in yet. We're just checking, making sure everything's flowing out. So some air bubbles coming out of the returns there, as well as here. That should clean up. Waterfall's flowing. Bubbles still coming out. We haven't turned on the auxiliary pump yet, so that'll force that to be primed. But again, we're pulling from both skimmers and the main drain right now. Alright, so obviously once you put the chlorine into shock levels or slam levels, your reading's going to be all off. So it's best to get a reading for all your chemicals right now so that you can add the pH or whatever else you want up or increase it later on after your slam's kind of done, so or while the slam's going on. So we're going to do that right now. And you don't have to watch this, but I'll get the chemical readings and go from there. Not sure you can see this or not, but free chlorine 0 need to be 16. Numbers aren't horrible. pH 7.9 to alkaline 95. Calcium hardness 275. CYA 35. So I need to get 597 ounces of bleach in there. So essentially I'm going to pour in 5 or 6 bottles. Aim a little overboard for aim over for what we're going to do right now, which is shock. Alright, so I'm going to get the old Polaris in there, run around, scrubbing up. I'll obviously brush the walls as well, but this kind of helps churn up the bottom a little bit, pick up some of the leaves and whatnot. Let's go see how the Polaris is moving. I rebuilt it a couple years ago. There's in the bottom. It's moving alright. Purging all the air out of the system. Tail's wagging. But yeah, once the air gets out of the system, it will run better. But it's moving. Oh, by the way, here's that special winter pill that's supposed to keep your pool perfectly clean. Yeah, well, it's more covered in algae than anything else, so well, whatever. I followed the directions perfectly and it still does nothing. I'm not sure if you can see the lighter lines in the bottom of the pool. Maybe you can't tell, but robots been running around, already cleaning up from the bottom. So right now we'll brush down all the walls and the bottoms and give it a good scrub. That'll pick up all this algae and get it into the filter. You'll notice it's cloudier than it was before, but what happens is it just stirred up all the algae stuck to the sides. The filter will take all that out, so probably brush it one more time tomorrow. Keep the chlorine up to 16 parts per million. Alright, so not the end of day one, but everything's looking pretty good. The pool filter is at 16 or 17 psi, so up 2 from when it started, but wasn't looking too bad. Again, it's cloudy. For the DE filter, we'll clean that up. Chlorine's killing the bacteria. A couple more brush downs. And then this pool should be good probably in 2-3 days by the time the chlorine comes back down a little bit. Alright, there it is. All sort of done. Alright, another hour or so later. View from up in the splash rock. Not looking too bad. Water coming off that spa looks a little light, so maybe I have to clean the impellers out of the pump, but robot's doing his thing, getting down in there. I'll probably brush it tonight or tomorrow morning one more time. Looking good. Okay, about 24 hours later, as it looks like. You can see the bottom here, you see the bottom step there. And if you look over here, you can see the robot near the bottom. I think another 24 hours of filtering, this is going to be crystal clear. See the leaves over there on the bottom still. See in here, there's some debris not to clean up, but this is the water coming in from the filter, obviously clean, so probably one more backwash in the filter. In 24 hours of runtime, we should be good. Alright, check it later. Okay, I just cleaned out the impeller on the motor. It's jammed up with needles, pine needles and stuff. So now the waterfall's flowing closer to what it normally is. There's some leaves there kind of jamming it up, but yeah, so we should have this clean pretty quick. Anyway, here's our pool, almost ready for the season. And the biggest splash rock you've ever seen. Alright, it's 48 hours later. So, pretty clear, not perfect yet. That's of course, the pool will look like that in another, say, 12 hours of runtime. You see the robot in the deep end, you see all the way down there, it's just not crystal clear yet. So, there it is, it's getting there. Need to do a lot of weeding. We're not getting the landscaping done. But it's coming along. Okay, it's day 3, 72 hours. I would say it's almost crystal clear. A little bit of tidiness to it compared to that. That's obviously cleaner since it's all coming from the filter. So more work to do on cleaning up the flower beds. But I can clearly see to the bottom. I think we'll call this video good. Thanks for watching.